Well, we are in the heart of Ventura County. We're in Camarillo, about a half a mile from the Camarillo airport, and we brought you up here to introduce you to the chairman, the founder, and the CEO of Cantara Cellars, a great winery. As a matter of fact, of all the wineries here in Ventura County, this is one of the most popular, and they make some of the best wines you've ever tasted. So let's go inside and have a chat with Mike Brown here at Cantara Cellars. So, Mike, this would be, what, the aging room? Is that what they call this?
This is the barrel room and where we do the major amount of production.
So you call it the barrel room?
Barrel room.
Because there's lots of
barrels.
Barrels here. How many barrels do you have in the winery?
Currently, we have about 300 barrels.
Now, how does that translate into how many bottles of wine you can make?
Well, we have in those 300 barrels, we have two vintages, 2009 and 2010. And combined, it's about 6,000 cases of wine.
300 barrels is 6,000 cases of wine.
Right.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, approximately 22, 23 cases per barrel.
Cases per barrel. See, I would have said maybe 5 cases in a barrel.
Yeah, it's kind of deceiving.
It must be deceiving. Barrels, obviously oak barrels. They come from France, America. Where do they come from?
We have a combination of American French and neutrals. A neutral barrel is a barrel that's been used for 5-6 years. It's not imparting any oak flavor into the wine. And then we have new barrels that are imparting oak, and in those we have about 60% French, 40% American.
The obvious question to ask you, which is curious for me because of where you are right now, is how did you start this? I mean, how do you decide to become a winery, or what was it called, vintner?
Vintner first, and then the winery comes later. So,
right. So how did this get started for you?
Well, first off, I grew up in Lodi, which is, for those who aren't familiar with Lodi, it's where about 20% of the U.S. wine grape growing happens, and very large production wineries in that area, and then small boutique wineries. So I've been around winemaking for a very long time. My uncle had a winery on my grandparents' property, right next door to our house. And so I was around wine for a long time, but you know, those things that you know well and familiar with, of course, in school you move away from.
Right.
So moved on into engineering and business management, and then after kids get out of college, and my wife and I have lots of experience in manufacturing, we looked at it at winemaking as a nice small business that we could manage ourselves, and so we went off to learn the tools of the trade and the techniques, and then started as home winemakers to hone some of those skills and identify the wineries or the vineyards that we would work with. And then moved into small production. First lot was, 250 pounds of fruit, and then 1,000 pounds, and then 10,000 pounds, and wow. Now we're up to about 70 tons. So
you actually did start in your garage, in your house. It was like winemaking kit that you ordered online with a little jug and some juice?
Local shops have those supplies. Yeah. Here in Ventura, we have squash grapes. They sell all of that equipment for home production.
What's fun for you? I mean, is this whole thing just fun, or do you look at it 70% as a business you got to work your butt off for, or is it a good time all the time?
Well, both my wife and I have worked in a lot of different businesses, and the winery in particular, if you're a doctor, you deal with sick people. If you own a winery, you deal with happy people. I train our employees here that people come to a winery to have a good time, be introduced to new tastes, new techniques in that production of wine, and they're here to have a good time. And our job is to, not pop that bubble, show them a good time, introduce them to some good wines, and basically have a very nice afternoon.
I see a lot of different labels, obviously, on these wines. This is Cab Franc, Grenache,
Mourvedre.
Is that what's in that bottle?
Yeah,
in that barrel?
Yeah, this is a stack of 6, and different barrels are going to hold different wines. As a small producer, one of those things that's unique about us, a winery this size would maybe have 5 or 6 different varietals or bottled wines that they deal with. We bring in about 17 different varietals, and from that we make 12 to 14 different wines.
Give me an example. What do you make? You make
well, Cabernet blends, Zinfandel, Petit Syrah, Barbera, Sangiovese, Tempranillo, Albarino, Chardonnay. Wow. Just a good variety.
You have a favorite?
I would have to put that in the current favorite category.
Current favorite. Do you have a current favorite?
We'll have to try that. It's our 2009 Grenache.
We'll try that. We will definitely try that. Let's try that now.
All right.
Okay, we'll try it now. Okay, this is the exciting part, isn't it? Where you taste the wine?
Absolutely.
But you know, I've been drinking wine for a long time. I don't know that much about wine, but I know what I like, and I obviously buy wine that I like and drink it. But I have never had wine out of a barrel.
Well, you are in for a treat.
And what do you call this? Is there a...
Well, this the technical term, this is a thief.
A thief?
Mm-hmm. And we're going to steal some wine out of the barrel.
Okay. What is this, by the way?
This is 2009 Grenache. And for those who haven't had Grenache, this is a very, very popular grape. Very large production worldwide, but it's one you don't hear about because it's often used as a blending grape. It would be the base of a larger blend, like maybe Mountain Burgundy.
Oh, so they just mix it with other varietals to come up, but it's not normally used on its own as a...
I would say...
I've never known of a Grenache.
I would say it's
doesn't say
not
much, but I've never known of it.
Yeah, it's not normally known in the U.S.
Okay,
very
so
common.
This is the time when we get to actually taste the wine, which is a good thing. You swirl. Why is it you swirl it?
Well, the purpose of swirling is to coat the glass and have a lot of surface area for wine to volatilize and fill the bowl of the glass with aroma.
Oh, so it's not about oxygenating. I've always heard oxygenating or something like that. It's really about aroma?
Well, if you had a very old wine, that might be a way to bring in a lot of oxygen, but generally speaking, in a young wine, this is 2009 vintage, it's about filling the bowl with aromas.
Okay, so here we go. For 10 o'clock in the morning, this is a really good wine. It's very good. I could drink this all afternoon. It's kind of light, fruity, very fruity.
Yeah, light-bodied, certainly lighter color, and but terrific floral bouquet. Nice drying finish.
Great,
nice balance.
Very nice. What's the problem being a vintner, being a winery? What is your biggest battle when you're, in trying to do the kind of things that you want to do and trying to be successful as a winery? What are the biggest things you got to overcome?
Well, you have to look at it. We're certainly not as well funded as maybe some larger guys from a marketing standpoint. You're not opening magazines and finding ads from Cantara Cellars too much. So our marketing budget is a little more restrained than a lot of other businesses. But small wineries are here for predominantly tourists and trade, where you're coming into an area and you're interested in finding something new, finding something that's not going to be at every grocery store. These wines and other small vintners like ourselves, you're finding the wines at some local restaurants, maybe a local tasting or local wine shop, but the majority of our wines are sold right here at our facility.
Wow. Small wineries, can you make, and this is kind of a loaded question, but can you make a better wine than a big winery can? Is there a difference in that whole concept?
Yeah, better is one of those relative terms. We certainly believe we make a far superior product for using our techniques than someone who's making 100,000 gallons of maybe the exact same wine. Right. We're able to work with 5 tons, 6 tons of fruit, where they're dealing with hundreds of thousands of tons. And what you're able to do with a small batch is bring out nuances within that particular vineyard, that particular lot of grapes, where the big producer is taking, hundreds of lots of grapes, throwing them all together. And I talk to people, it's like if you take all the colors of the rainbow and throw them in the pot at the same time, you get brown paint.
Brown paint.
And we're able to have the bright pink and the light pink, and we're able to see the nuances within a particular varietal, particular vineyard.
Is it also because you care more about what you're doing? You don't have a president, a vice president, a CEO, a treasurer, and various marketing people?
Yeah, we're pretty flat. I might be working on the website in the morning and doing wine blending that night. So as an organization, my wife, my son, myself, we do everything. And so that puts us, I'm the one who sources the fruit, sets the yeast packages that are used for the fermentation, My son is here day to day doing the daily activities, and it keeps us in very close touch with what's going on with the wine. And that feeds right back into decisions for harvest for next year and anything different we might want to do from yeast and wine development.
Got to tell you, this is really good.
Well, it's
really good.
It's something we're looking forward to release.
What's the right time of day to start drinking wine? Have you ever determined that there's a good time? I mean, I tend to wait till 5 o'clock, but I don't think everybody does.
No. Well, even here at the winery, most of the time we're tasting wine and not swallowing it.
Not swallowing it. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing.
Well, you got to have a clear head in our business.
Yeah, I went to wine country up in Napa one time, and of course that's a problem because I don't know, they don't think about that. You get in the car and you start at 11 o'clock in the morning, and by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you're pretty well zocked.
Yeah, we tell people it's a marathon.
Yeah. There's a wine, there are buses here, aren't they, that will bring people to the winery?
There are.
Take them back.
Ventura County has about 3 different tours that run.
Really?
Yep.
This is a great red, but I must tell you, I drink mostly white. And you have a white, do you not? Or I should say, do you have a white?
We do 2 whites and a rosé, and our flagship white is happens to be a Chardonnay from
my favorite,
my parents' vineyards in Lodi.
Your parents' vineyards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Ruth's Vineyard Chardonnay. Ruth's my mom.
Oh, so you get to actually get grapes from your own vineyard?
Yes.
As well as being able to buy them from other vineyards?
Yeah, my family produces Chardonnay. They have 28 acres of Chardonnay. But all of the red fruit we source from specific growers that that are doing the right thing in that particular varietal.
Mm-hmm. Is there a big difference in making white than making red? I mean, they seem like such different wines. Is it a different way to make a white than to make a red?
The process steps are quite different comparing. But and it's actually more difficult for a small winery to produce a white wine than a red wine.
How about wine knowledge in general? Do you find that most people that come here and buy wine really know nothing about it? I mean, how much do you have to really learn about wine before you can enjoy it, or does it really not matter?
I would say we see 2 different types of people that come wine tasting. Those who are seeking to learn something about wine, and you certainly can learn a lot about wine coming to a winery. It is, we take it on as a learning opportunity for teaching someone something about wine and how we make wine. So there's certainly novices that are trying to gain knowledge and gain expertise in, for us, a very broad palette of wines. And then there's someone who is experienced in wine and has had a lot of wine, and they're looking for something new and different that they haven't had before.
So it really doesn't matter when it comes right down to drinking it, whether you know a lot about it or not.
No, and that's, as I tell people, your taste buds will guide you to what is right for you.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what the review says. It doesn't matter what how many points. It's when you put this in your mouth, do you want to say wow, or do you want to spit it out?
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, you mentioned points. I got to tell you, there've been a lot of times, you go to the store and it says 92 points, 91 points, 89 points. And I bought a number of bottles of wine because it had 92 or 93 points, and I couldn't stand it.
Yep.
And I've bought wine that has no points whatsoever, and it's really good. Everybody says that. It doesn't really matter.
Well, remember that points are a person's opinion.
Right.
And if you know who is expressing that opinion and who's giving it those points, and you've had other wines that they've rated, and you've calibrated yourself to 90 for that person is good, and when I try it, I like it, then the next time he rates a wine, he or she rates a wine 90, then you can have some confidence. But generally speaking, we don't know who's giving the ratings.
Right.
It's a person or maybe a group of individuals' opinion. And those opinions are always based on some reference to something else.
One more question. What do you recommend people that either don't know about wine or would like to know about wine? How should somebody go about learning about it, understanding what they're drinking, know what to look for, know what to spend a lot of money on versus a little money? What would you tell them?
I would tell them certainly coming to Ventura County or Paso Robles, Santa Barbara, go to an area where there are lots of wineries, and you're going to find in our case, there's at least 7 wineries that have a Cabernet blend or a Syrah blend. And focus, instead of going to that winery and trying everything that they're doing, focus on, today I'm going to learn about Syrahs and Cabs. And I'm going to compare, you know, winery number 1 to winery number 2 to winery number 3. And in that sense, really focus on it as a learning experience.
That's a really good point.
But limit your focus.
Right, because I've done that. I've gone tasting, and they lay out 6 wines in front of you, and you go from a Syrah to a Chardonnay to a Sauvignon Blanc to a Cabernet, and you taste all these wines. You go to the next place, and you have no memory whatsoever.
Correct.
As to what you just tasted.
The
Very good point.
The other opportunity is where you go to a tasting event, maybe put on by a nonprofit. There might be 50 different wineries there. Just go from booth to booth trying a single wine.
I said one more question, but I've got another one for you. You have dinners here?
We
I
offer
saw a bunch
cheese
of tables.
Yeah,
and
cheese plates, and we're here in our lounge. Friday nights and weekends we do cheese plates and oil and vinegar, or oil and balsamic and bread.
You go all out.
And then we do have events in our event space where we'll have dinners up to 100 people.
Really? And you serve dinner with a special wine. You talk about it. You tell them.
Yeah, generally
how it was made.
it's a paired dinner, anywhere from 3 to 5 course.
How can people find out about that? I mean, if somebody wants to come to one of your 5-course dinners and learn more about your wine, what would they do? Call the winery?
Certainly they'll be on the website. Best thing, be on our mailing list, and we obviously advertise and
www.cantaracellars.com. Cantaracellars.com.
Or
Great.
Facebook.
Or Facebook. Great. We've had a wonderful time here. Thank you very much.
Salud.
And I love the Chardonnay. We are in the tasting room. This is where people can come Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday, Sunday, and Friday evenings.
And Friday evenings. And you come in here to Cantara and they lay out their wines for you. You can taste their reds, you can taste their whites. You can ask Mike or Jesse or whoever's here, Chris, you can ask them questions about the wine. They'll fill you in, they'll give you information. They'll give you like a 30-minute history of wine, and you'll leave a much smarter person than when you came in. Is that true?
We hope so.
Speaking of smart, tell me about what's it called?
Frankenwein.
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 I heard that. What does it mean, Frankenwein?
Frankenwein, one of the prerogatives of being the winemaker is I get to make wines that I really want to just be creative about. And Frankenwein is one of those. Blended it in 2008 vintage, and it's a blend of Cabernet, Petit Syrah, Zinfandel, and Old Vine Zin. And I just found that was just an extraordinary blend, and it doesn't follow a pattern of any, it's not a Bordeaux blend, it's not a Rhone blend. It's its own wine, and it's quite delicious.
This doesn't say Frankenwein. Do you not put a label on Frankenwein? Do you actually sell it?
We actually sell it.
You actually do? Or they have to come here to the winery to taste it,
I just
obviously.
heard that Zinfandel was your favorite, so
Zinfandel is my favorite. And do you have any Zinfandel?
I do have some Old Vine Zin.
Now, I could either chug this, but I shouldn't because we're working.
Correct.
I have to throw it away, which is a terrible, terrible thing to have to do.
We call it alcohol abuse.
Is that what you call it, alcohol abuse? And this is a Zin. Now, this is an Old Vine Zin. Tell me the actual difference. It makes sense that these are just older grapes, right?
Yeah, and the principle of calling it Old Vine is so, as a consumer, you understand that you might expect a different flavor profile than a younger vine Zinfandel. And you'll find that this is quite different than a young vine.
Different color.
This is a 1941 planting.
1941?
1941.
And they're still making grapes. The vines still make grapes.
This particular grower has vines as far back as 1901 plantings.
Here we are, we're coating the glass.
Yep.
Mostly for aroma.
Mostly for
really
aroma.
Has nothing to do with oxygenation.
Gives your hand something to do, looks good, you're able to look at the color.
Now see, Zin just has, just has kind of a rich flavor to me. It's got all those fruits and all those berries and all those things going on in it.
Absolutely.
And I know nothing about wine.
It's delicious. That's all. That's the important thing.
It's really great. So tell me a little bit about the tasting room. People can come Friday night?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we have Friday nights, wine flights and wine by the glass. And then Saturday, Sunday, the wine tasting bar is open. And we also do wine flights as well.
So you can come here Friday night, You have cheese and crackers.
Cheese
and you can actually
and
buy
bread.
wines by the glass.
Wines by the glass, wine by the bottle.
Sit in the lounge.
Sit in the lounge, have a nice, relaxing end of the day, end of the week, and kind of maybe a prep before dinner.
Good. We got to go.
All right.
Listen, we have had a wonderful time here. I mean, it's been great. I love wine, and it was so nice to find out about what you do, and you're obviously so smart. Are you like the smartest wine guy in all of Ventura County?
No, I'm just experienced with our particular vineyards, and
yeah, you're modest. If you want a good time, for sure, come talk to Mike or Jesse or anybody that's here. Come to the tasting room Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. It's right here in Camarillo. It's right next to the airport. You might have heard a plane go over when we were talking here, possibly. They're open all day Saturday.
11 to 5.
11 to 5, and Sunday and Friday nights. It is a great time. You truly will learn a lot. And it's well worth making a Sunday afternoon out of this, or a Saturday afternoon, to have a great, great time. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have had a wonderful time.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be back with more of Profiles TV right after this. Don't go away. Let's go back to the Zinfandel.